one easy way for the Niners to mess this up is to overuse Christian McCaffrey and get him hurt. And I think when we see him get like 25, 27, 28 touches in a game, we're like, why you won? It was such a big game. Why did you do this? What coach would want to? So I asked Chris Forster, what do you think? And he sort of revealed like Christian's hard to take off the field. He really won't come out. It's like, oh, okay. So Christian McCaffrey wants to be the offensive player of the year. Got it. What do you think of Christian McCaffrey sort of defying his coaches and saying, look, I'll play as much as I want. Thank you.
I feel like it's kind of normal for star players in a way, because so many times until I see them, like even Deebo Samuel or any player in any team, unless they have like they have like a massive run or a big play, like a receiver or running back, whatever, it was like 20 to 40 yards. Unless they're waving, they're the ones that kind of sub themselves off, because the coaches aren't going to be like, yeah, it's a good idea to take one of our best players off, because I guess in a coach's mind, they kind of sound like, wait, that's the stupidest thing I could ever do. And they don't see how long-term picture it is, especially in that moment. They don't see the future is irrelevant, because what matters is the now in that game. So if Christian McCaffrey wants to go out there, if they're trusting in him, they'd be like, okay, he's not too gassed, he's not getting too beat up, then it's like, yeah. But again, to me, it's just about, all right, are you managing him well when it's close, when it's games that you're blowing him out towards the end? Like last week was perfect. Jordan Mason started getting carries at the end of the third quarter before that final touchdown, and then they pretty much gave it away. That was exactly what I want to see. We talked about it, like, will they do that? And it was perfect. Yeah, chef's kiss, beautiful. And we got to see Jordan Mason ball out 6.9 yards per carry, I believe. And now it's like, okay, maybe that gives you an opportunity to trust more in Mason to spell McCaffrey after he makes those giant runs, because it's not like McCaffrey was really doing too hot anyways on the ground. He was averaging 2.3 yards a carry. That was pretty bad, but I guess it was to be expected. So hopefully in this case you have more trust in your backup and you can reel in McCaffrey a little bit more. But to me, it's just ultimately, as long as the games are out of reach, you don't run them too much.
I don't like Christian doing this. I like Christian, but I don't like him doing this for a few reasons. It's not in the best interest of the team. Okay. It's not your call. It's the coach's call. Respect your coach and trust that they're doing it in the best interest of the team. It feels like a selfish move. Like, I want to be out here. I want accolades. I want numbers. I want the ball. Give me the ball. I feel like it's a little bit selfish. Also, imagine you're Jordan Mason or Elijah Mitchell, and the coach says, all right, Jordan, I want you in the game. It's your turn. And you run on, and Christian says, nah. Like, you're in the same meeting room. You spend a lot of time with Christian. You're supposed to like each other. You're supposed to be teammates. Would you not grow to resent the guy? Like, hold on, man. Can I eat too? Can I provide for my family as well? Like, am I supposed to applaud you when you tell me to go screw myself and stand on the side? Like, come on, man. So I think it's kind of messed up. And do it in a playoff game, man. We could call it, it'll be legendary if you do it in the Super Bowl. No, I'm staying in. I want the ball. And then he won the game. Like, great. It's October, man. Chill. Pace yourself. It's October 13th. It's my three-quarter birthday. How about that?
Yeah. I feel like if anything, implementing more Mason behind McCaffrey is going to benefit McCaffrey himself, because that change of pace works well. You get a little bit more energized, and it gives the defenses different looks, because they're not the same type of runner. Mason's definitely more of a downhill, I'll run you over. And Mason also
Thunder and lightning.
Yes. Perfectly thunder and lightning. That's a perfect example. And at least with your McCaffrey, it's like, okay, cool. You got McCaffrey with, Mason had 2 carries, for like 7 yards, whatever. Like he bulldozed him a little bit. McCaffrey, get in there, be that speedster than I used to. All of a sudden he breaks the seam, goes for like 30. That's really what you want. You want less carries, but larger numbers. You don't want to keep having like 25 carries for like 60 yards. That becomes stupid at that point.
Remember when the Giants had Tiki Barber and Ron Dane? Thunder and lightning. Thunder and lightning. Remember when USC had Reggie Bush and Lendale White?
Mm-hmm.
Thunder and lightning. Thunder. Shake and bake. Shake.
Changing paces backs matter, dude. That's actually that's a huge thing. I think even the Patriots did. LeGarrette Blount and who was another like kind of a speed? They had a bunch of backs back then. Not James White. James White was the scout back, but I remember they used to have. That's the thing about offenses.
Danny Woodhead.
Danny Wood. Yeah. So he was receiver. I think you're thinking Rex. Anyways, but
that's Danny Amendola.
Danny Amendola is right. The thing about all offenses, if you look in the league, is like everyone has a solid 1-2, like a solid 1-2, even though they're not getting like that 2, like 8 carries, but it's like, dude, like that matters. That gives them something. Even Tony Pollard gives up about 5 carries to his backup Rico Daldo, whatever. All these guys give up some carries to each other. It's really the 49ers are only bell cow that really have it, and it's come on, think about.
And it's not by their choice. It's not their choice. It's Christian's choice.
And you would think a guy with the head coach Kyle Shanahan that he wouldn't like necessarily like allow that, but again, it's like, what's he going to tell his stars? That's what they want to see. I think that's what he wants to see. That's what he loves.
All right, Christian.
If he didn't like it, I doubt. I think if he truly didn't like it, I doubt he'd be letting that fly. I think he loves that Christian McCaffrey wants to stay in there.
I mean, I agree. Like the opposite was to me, Carlos Hyde, dude. Carlos Hyde used to take himself out after every time he ran the ball. It was like you ran it one time. Why are you doing this? Remember that game that the Niners had a big lead? I think it was the Chip Kelly year against the Jets. And I think Carlos Hyde ran for like 200 yards and they lost to Bryce Petty somehow. That was a game where he only had half the carries. And I think people were like, what's the deal? I was like, well, look at him. He keeps taking himself out of the game. So I don't know. At least he's not that. Is Carlos Hyde still in the NFL?
No, I don't think he's been in the NFL for like 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah. Well, he did have a Hall of Fame career, great time. Good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one game, hang it up in the Lavoir, or whatever the word is.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any more super chats. There are. Jeffrey Ray says Brady took a smaller contract to keep his team strong. BP wants to prove everyone wrong for years to come. He definitely deserves the bag. Dude, Brady married Giselle, okay, who made way more money than him. So I don't think you could say like Brady was like above the money and that's why he gave some back. Like he had tons of money. You think Brock is going to be like, you know what? I'll take. No, I don't think so, man.
I don't believe in this thing like Brock wants to prove everyone wrong for years. Like no one knows that. And I doubt he does. I doubt he cares. He just wants to play. He doesn't hear about the noise.
Papa Phil says Shador Sanders is making $4.8 million at college.
Oh my God.
Is that true?
I would believe that. I would believe that. NIL money. There's a lot of players making more NIL money than Brock Purdy. Matter of fact, if Brock Purdy was an undrafted free agent, he would have made more money.
Brock needs an NIL deal. Great to see Jesse back and in midseason form.
Do I look like Jesse? He's talking about me?
Huh? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's funny to think about it that way. There's college players making more money than Brock. Poor Brock. No, I don't think he's going to give the Niners any breaks in his time, man. With
someone. Or he's not sharing a room. He's sharing. Maybe he's sharing a room. I don't know.
Maybe it's bunk beds. Could be bunk beds.
Look at all this floor space. Look at so many activities.
I was just doing karate. 12 places finally. The O-line playing good, protecting Brock. You agree? We'll see this week, man. But yeah, cool. So far, last game was amazing.
I feel like I was more of a game plan proponent.
Yeah.
Not saying it was solely, just more so because again, you're not going straight heads, but no one really is. But yeah, well, if we do this next one, I guess pretty much another great vaunted pass rush and defense.
Vaunted.
Damn, yeah, fantastic.